Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Here at Africa Capacity Network, we are grateful that you've secured the time and you've chosen to be a part of this wonderful webinar. We believe that there's something that you're going to learn that will make you more competitive at your workplace. So once again, thank you so much for joining. My name is Kakaire Joshua. I'm a co-founder and I also work as a trainings and innovations lead here at Africa Capacity Network. Due to time factor, we may not be in position to introduce ourselves, but I have a team here that is working to ensure that we have a wonderful webinar today. Those that are online, still we will not have enough time to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself, but all the same, we are grateful that you have joined. Okay, may you allow me share my screen? Sorry. Hey. Okay, thank you so much. This is a brief about Africa Capacity Network. So who are we? Africa Capacity Network is a training and research social enterprise registered by the government of Uganda. We started our operations in 2012, and over the years we have been able to reach out to many individuals, impacting them with skills that are relevant for them to advance in the area of work. So our vision is a world where organizations effectively and sustainably serve their communities. And our mission is strengthening capacity of individuals and organizations to monitor and evaluate development programs. So in a snapshot, Africa Capacity Network as a training and research social enterprise, we focus on monitoring and evaluation, training individuals and organizations in softwares that can help them be able to monitor and evaluate. So some of the key softwares that we train softwares related to geological information systems, advanced Excel, Power BI, we do Tableau, we do data collection technologies where we have Comcare, and the rest of the open data kits where we have Savacity or Kobo and many others. So as Africa Capacity Network, our focus is to empower and strengthen the capacity of individuals and organizations to monitor and evaluate development programs. Our services include capacity building. We offer face-to-face, online, and blended training courses focusing on monitoring, evaluation, and learning, analysis tools, and technological innovations. Like I mentioned before, we specifically focus on monitoring, evaluation, and learning analysis tools and technological innovations. So we do advanced Excel, we do Power BI, we do trainings in SPSS, data, we do trainings in geological information systems, specifically ArcGIS and the QGIS. And we also look at data collection technologies, where we have CommCare, which is a very wonderful tool that can help you do case management, and the rest of the open data kits, where we have Kobo Toolbox and Service CTO. So we help you design XLS forms that you can easily upload on the different ODKs. Number two, we do evaluations, research, and surveys. So we conduct research, evaluation, impact assessments for and on behalf of organizations. So could you be having an assignment that you really want us to support you on? We are willing, and we shall work together with you to see that that comes to accomplishment. We also support organizations to develop and set up practical, efficient M&E systems, approaches, and tools that are tailored to meet the needs of the users. You cannot have a comprehensive M&E if you do not have the right tools, the right approaches that are tailored to the needs of the users. So we support organizations in that. But all along, we really need to see that whatever we do helps the organization to be efficient and be able to meet their needs in time. So these are our contacts. You can reach us on 0778 41 63 19. But we can also, you can find us on all the social media platforms. On LinkedIn, we use Africa Capacity Network, on Facebook, on YouTube, and the rest of the social media platforms. You can also visit our website for more information and the details about what we really do on africacapacitynetwork.com. So that said, today's webinar is going to focus on data visualization using advanced Excel. Why have we chosen Excel? Because one, it's readily available to most of the people, and we believe that most organizations utilize Microsoft Excel to do their analysis, unlike other softwares. But Excel is widely used across the board. And specifically, we are going to look at visualization in Excel. But before we dive into that, we want to see what are some of the key principles of data visualization. Before you do anything, before you embark on visualizing data, there are key principles that you really need to pay attention to. One of them is storytelling. So under storytelling, you need to organize your visuals in a way that tells a story. Make it easier for the reader or for the group that you're going to share with to understand and see the key insights. Then principle number two, you really need to understand the audience. So audience consideration becomes pertinent when it comes to sharing and visualizing data. So you need to know your audience and tailor your visualization to the level of their expertise and interest. Because for you may be a little technical and don't do complex things. If you're going to present to lower cadres, understand them and then make it simple for them to understand your visuals. Then another aspect that we really need to consider, or key principle, is the aesthetics. Aesthetics is all about the design. So in all your designs, what do you need to put in consideration? So your visuals should be appealing. That is number one, because no one wants to look at boring things. So even your visuals should be appealing to the reader or to your audience. Pay attention to the color, to the font, and the overall design of your visual. The other aspect that we really need to consider is simplicity. Your visuals should be as simple as possible. Keep it simple and focused. and remove all the unnecessary elements, make it have the essential elements. And lastly, we will need to be clear. So clarity is a key principle that you really need to keep at the back of your mind before you do any visualization. The visual should be clear and easy to understand. Remove or don't consider unnecessary complexities. You know, at times someone will draw a chart and they make it a little complex for the reader to understand. These are not the only key principles, but I felt like sharing with you this, and it can be a starting point for us to really get into data visualization. Another thing that I would love to add that is not written here is that there is no complete software that will give you everything that you need. You realize that SPSS has some good visuals, Stata has some, is good at something, Excel is very excellent, very good visuals, but it cannot do everything, much as it is readily available and widely used, but it cannot give you everything that you need. You will realize that when it comes to visualizing maps, Excel will do to a certain extent. For example, at country and continent level, Excel can visualize that. But when it comes to the nitty-gritties of breaking down the countries into smaller portions, like the districts, like the sub-counties, like that particular village, where the data is coming from, it will be very complex and it is not possible. That means you will need to use geological information systems like ArcGIS and QGIS to help you build the maps that you really desire. So with all these principles, let's make it clear that there is no software that will give you all that you need. If you're using Power BI or business intelligence softwares, Power BI, Tableau, and others, yes, they have unique visuals, but again, not everything is within one software. So having looked at the principles, let us look at the key question that you would like to know or to ask yourself before you do data visualization. One of them is, are you going to compare? Is it a comparison that you're looking at? If you're going to compare, there are certain visuals or there are certain charts that can enable you to make that. If not, are you highlighting a relationship? Are you talking about relationships in your visualization? Like we talked about, what is the story that you're taking or that you're talking about? Are you looking at comparison? Are you highlighting a relationship? Or are you demonstrating a composition? Or are you showing distribution of items of a particular variable? So the key question is, what do you like the data to show? And these questions can help you to understand and get to the point that you really need to derive. Okay, thank you so much. If there is no question at that level, we will move into the second one. Feel free to share with us on the chat. We have muted most of us, so let us keep muted. And in case you have a question, feel free to reach out in the chat. So what happens? We've come up with something that can help us to select the appropriate chart. So selecting the appropriate chart, we came up with a decision tree that is that can help us to select which chart to use when doing what or when telling a given story. So are you looking at relationships? Are you looking at comparison? Are you looking at distribution? Are you looking at composition? So you realize that when it comes to relationships, we have the scatter, we have the bubble charts. The bubble charts are can help you visualize 3 variables. Then the scatter is very good for 2. On this other side, we have those that are comparative in nature. We have the single bar for 1 variable. We have the 2 variable bars column chart. Then we have the multiple charts. where we have few items or even many items. Then we have the circular area charts. We have the line graph, which can help us when it comes to changing over time. We have the column chart also, are very good. Then we have the line chart, if we have many variables. This other side, if it is just the distribution of items, then we have the column chart. The histogram, the scatter can also do that. The area chart for 3 variables can help you to do that. And down here, if you have composition, you want to one relative differences that a few periods, you can look at this, and we are going to share this with you. Then you'll be able to navigate through and analyze it better. But this, we put this just to help us and guide us, to give us a starting point. Okay. Now that we have looked at how we can select, so this is ideal about the components of a chart, not necessarily selecting the appropriate chart, but it is about the key components of a chart. So you realize that every chart that you're going to draw or to visualize in your report, it should have most of or some of these elements in one way or the other, depending on the nature of the chart. For example, we have the sales call and the units sold as our chart title. Then on this other side, on your left, we have the vertical axis. On the right, we have another vertical axis. We made it a combo chart just to help us bring out the most of the key aspects that we would love to see. For example, you're visualizing sales and units sold. Since it's a combo, it is very good that you will have 2 y-axes or vertical axes, and then you will have the x-axis, and then you will have the horizontal axis, 2 y-axes and the other horizontal axis. So then you will have the axis title, then you have the horizontal axis, you have the axis title for the horizontal section, then you will have a legend. The legend is kind of a key that guides your readers. Then we have a chart area, we have the plot area. The plot area is this one that is kind of shaded. Then the area chart is the entire area chart. So whenever you're formatting, these are going to guide you. Do you want to format the area chart or the plot chart? So these are key things that you really need to pay attention to. Then we have these labels that are here and added in our chart. So that said, I believe that we've picked up something, but if you have a question at this level, feel free to ask. So we've come to the end of this session, specifically the introductory part. Now we want to get our hands on, and I will stop sharing this such that I can share another the Excel sheet or the Excel workbook. Okay. Okay, so here we are, and we are going to look at the different charts based on the data that we have summarized within this sheet or within this workbook. So you realize that those that want to follow with us, kindly check your email. We have shared this out, and we can work together. So we will start with a simple column chart or simple column charts. Indeed, these are very simple. So we have our data summarized here. What we are going to do, let us first navigate through Excel for those that have not yet had a training in advanced Excel, just to let you know that we find all charts in the insert ribbon. And when we go to the insert ribbon, we will look at the charts section. Most of these charts are here. But then if you're not seeing it here, like we have the column, we have the area chart, we have the waterfall, we have the map, then we have the pivot. The pivot, we are not going to go there. For those that have not had an opportunity to go through our advanced Excel course, we encourage you. We will let you know when we are going to run an Excel course, and we invite you to kindly apply and advance your skills. Because today we have a short period of time, we will not be able to start from, this is a full course that runs for a full month, but today we just want to do data visualization. So you realize that we have summarized most of the things that we are going to visualize, or the summaries we are going to use for data visualization, specifically for this webinar. But also we will not cover every chart, because this takes us a full day while during our course. So you realize that we will be a little speedy, but again, we will try to catch and touch on a few things here and there. But if you want to explore more, please, when our courses are open, and when we inform you about that, kindly apply. For those that have already gone through our course, excuse me, this is a refresher. Okay, thank you so much. We are going to do a simple column chart. I was saying that for those that have not had an opportunity to participate in our executive trainings, this would be an opportunity for you to make chance, or to make a decision that in our next cohort you can enroll. Specifically for those that already had our course, this is kind of a refresher, but we believe that there's still something new that you are going to learn. So a quick wrap of how we get the charts. It is found under the insert ribbon here. Then we will find them under charts. If you can't see them here, then you'll go to the recommended charts. So let us see how a simple column chart looks like. So we can insert it from here. Or if that is not working for you, you highlight, then go to insert, recommended charts, all charts, and then you'll see column here. Then here, the first three 2D charts, then the others are 3D charts. Yes, we can see this with different colors, but we can also see this one which has the same color. So you can choose if you want to have varying colors for the different bars. Still, you can make choice. We can go with this, the first one, and say insert. After that, we are good to go. So you realize we have our chart title here. We have the vertical axis, we have the horizontal axis. So much as this looks to be good, it's not all that enough for you to visualize this and put in your report. A lot of information is missing, so you really need to do some kind of formatting, add the key elements that you would love to add, and then we'll be good to go. So at this point in time, what you can do, you will go to this plus sign at the extreme top right. You will see the chart elements that are here. We have the axis, we have the axis titles, We have the, whatever you click on will show you something. When you remove the axes, they will go. So when you go to chart title, axis titles, then it will give you the different axis titles. And for me, I'm interested in having this. So what I will do, I will add it there and then name this as, this is number of people. Number of people. People. Okay. Then what is here? I'll call this the horizontal axis as country. Country. Because never assume that everyone knows that Kenya is a country. It can be Kenya in a certain village. It can be Kenya as a sub-county. So you really need to guide your reader or the user. Don't assume that they know. Then what I will need to do, I will also add data labels. I just click here. When I click, they come. If you don't like that, then you can do data table, but I prefer this. And then what else do I need? Do I need the legends? No. For this particular one, I don't want. So I don't also want the table. Then I'll need to change the chart title. Sometimes if I'm going to present this in a report where I'm going to have a list of figures, I may not include the chart title. But if you're designing something that you're going to share and you're not going to have a list of tables, it is important that you include it. But also if you're designing dashboards, it's very good that it is prudent that you include the chart title. So specifically here, I'm going to include the chart title and I'll say population distribution by countries. Population distribution. And that chart is good to go. What else? Do I need the grid lines? Yes or no? I may not like them, so I can remove them. Yes. So this chart is good enough to be put in the report or to be shared across. Once again, as we said, we looked at the key principles. You have to keep it simple. Yes, this is good enough, but anybody can do this. Your manager, your supervisor can do this chart. So we need to make it a little different. We want to make it different and see what happens. Like in the field of data analysis, in the field of data visualization, M&E, it's your creativity that makes you more competitive, because some of the things, there are many people that can do them, but how extra are you in visualizing your data? You realize this has been done by everyone. Anyone can generate this, but we are going to do some transformations on this to ensure that it comes out in a different form, same chart, but in a different form that your supervisor is not used to. So what do I normally do? I go to insert. There are these under illustrations. We have shapes. All these are charts that you can have in Excel, and you will visualize your chart differently. For example, I may want to visualize this as an arrow, something that is not common. Your manager will appreciate you for this. I can say I don't want the outline. Maybe I need to maintain the same color. So what will happen? I can copy this, then I come and select. If I paste them there, I'm good to go. That is a 2D chart, but it's a bit different, and they will appreciate. So what if I want to change the colors of this? you may want to, if you click on it once, if you click on the bars once, you can change. Okay, sorry. Let us first see that. You may want to change the color of the bars. So when you click once, it selects all the bars. When you double click on a bar, it selects that particular bar. And then you can now click on format. You do filling. Then you do outline in case you want to beautify it a little. You can see how it is coming out. I said you double click on the bar, then you come to format, have a different feel in here. Also, maybe the outline can be maintained. If you don't want the outline, same process, just say no outline, and then no outline. So we can leave this blue. We can now come to Rwanda. I think it uses green. It uses green as a fill. Then Nigeria, probably we will pick any other color. Then we have red. Or if not, depending. So you can design your chart, and there it has improved. So at that point, then we want to bring our arrows into this. So for each of this color, we are going to format the arrow or your shape into the color that, if it is that, then we will copy this, double click on this and paste. Then we will change this, format it to blue, fill. Then we copy it. I said double click. Then we will format the same shape into another color that is green. You copy it. You bring it there. Then lastly, you format. Give it this red. Copy it, Control C. Double click, Control V. So you realize that these have outlines, so we can remove these outlines and say we no longer need them to make our chart look beautiful. If you want to increase the size, you can see. So what you do, you go to format data points, format data series, just here, and then you reduce the gap width. As you may see, when I increase, they become thinner, but when I reduce the gap, they grow big and big. So that can be a different chart that you can visualize, and probably very few people can do that, and your manager may not be familiar with this kind of chart, or your supervisor. So any other chart you can create. As I told you, all these shapes can give you the charts that you need. For example, I may want to do a chart, maybe a triangle. So what I do, I copy this, come to this blue color and paste it there. Then I format, I say I don't want the outline. Likewise here, there is no need for the outline. So I can then copy this, come here and paste it there. Or if not, you can come back here. For people who are related to church, you're visualizing something for the church, you can now look for a plus sign or a cross sign that you can use around here. And then You do this. Okay, you format, remove the outline, copy it, double click on this, and then paste. So that's how we can go about that. You realize that you can have several charts out of the same 2D column chart, and you can use the insert ribbon, go under shapes. You can have many, many of those. So I hope that has been very clear. Okay, someone is asking, how have you, kindly repeat how you got across. Okay, cross is found under insert, go to illustrations, then shapes, and then you can look for that cross. So the cross is found here. You click on it, then you drag it, then you format it a bit, remove the outline, copy it, Control C, come to, okay, maybe we can give it a different feel, bring it to green, copy it, Control C, come to the green, come to render, and Control V. So that's how we can do that. And for the rest of the shapes that we have there, the same principle applies and the same formatting will apply. If you don't want the values here, still you can come here and say, I do not need the axis, especially this one of the vertical axis. You click on it and then you delete if you don't need it. But because we have put the axis name, it is important that we remain with it there. Okay. Still on the same bar chart, what can we do different? We can try to do, maybe we want to visualize it differently using people. Let us draw another chart using attendance summaries. Then let us do a column chart. So we have these two. What will happen is that you'll go through the same formatting, give it attendance distribution. Then if you want to give it the axis, you can indeed give it the axis titles. Here, what are these? This is a number of people. Then down here, we have sex. Then I don't need the grid lines. I will remove them. And at this point in time, I don't want to present using this very chart. What I'll do another thing. Excel has given us, for those that are having MS Office, Microsoft Office 19 and above, we have icons embedded. So when you are on internet, you click on the icons, it will load and give you some icons. All those icons can still be used to generate as many charts, different charts as possible. It is loading. Let's give it a few seconds. Oh, my network, sorry. Okay, let me go to Illustrate, icons. Okay, now we are here. You can see all these are different charts that you can generate based on the data that you're visualizing. If you're talking about, maybe if you're talking about animal farming, you can see some of these. If you're talking about mental health, you can see the brain here. If you can see some of these arrows. So there are very many you can navigate through in your free time. Specifically, I'm interested in having people here. They will give me different charts. If it is a group of people, I can use this. If I want a man, if I want someone pregnant, all these are here. So I can now pick all that I want. I want this particular man and I want a lady. The lady that I want is down here. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay, let me just utilize this girl here. And then I do the insert. So what happens, they have given me this. Let me ungroup them. So if I want to separate these two, I can now go to fill and give maybe a man, I'll give him blue because they like blue. The ladies maybe are very good when it comes to peach colors. If the color is not around here, I can look for pink somewhere if that is pink, or peach, something like that. And then I do copy this, Control C. I bring it here where there is female. And then I bring this, I copy the man. I double click on the bar for man. Oh, sorry. I copy this, double click, ensure that you have selected only one bar. And there we are, good to go. So if that is done, I do some kind of formatting just to enlarge them. I reduce the gap to ensure that my visuals look smarter other than when they are tiny and they are not clear and appealing. So I can do that. So that said, I can now come to the horizontal axis. I do the formatting. I say, let me remove the outline and we shall be good to go. So what happens? I add data labels. I can even decide to remove that. And then I do formatting of this. I look for an appealing font. I increase the size. I bold it a bit. And then I also come here. I increase the size. I can use Arial. Make it a little 12. Maybe bold. Something like that. So here you're formatting your data and then same chart, which is bar chart, but now different. If you do not have this, there is another way we can do that, but that will be shown to us at a later stage. So that is the kind of chart that you can have. You realize this is more a little different and it's appealing to me. I feel that can be good enough for me to make my report and share with anybody that really wants to see something different. So by doing this, you're a little more competitive, and then your supervisor will really appreciate and say you're innovative, other than seeing the same chart year in, year out. Now that we have looked at this, let us hurry. Our time is fast spent. We can have a bar chart here. The bar chart, same principle, go to insert ribbon, recommended charts. Then we can have a bar chart here. If you want something different with different colors, still you can go and do the same. So this is a bar chart. You realize it is ordered in ascending order. You can now look at the key formatting that you really need. Same principle like we did for the bar chart. Come here, change the chart title. Not chart title, but the axis. This is country. Country. Then come here and say this is population. Population. Or number of people. number of people. We said make it simple and let the audience understand. Then you can add the labels. I remove the grid lines. So what next? I can now format my data labels. I can come to home. I want to give them maybe a different color. You can bold them. If you want them to have a feel, you can fill them the way you really want. So you can play around with that in your free time. You can see what to do. If that is good to go, chart, can just click here and say population distribution. So here we are, and our chart is good enough to present. But once again, this can be presented by anyone. If you want different colors, double click, go to format, and then you can now change the colors. Okay, let us change one by one. You give it a different feel. Double click, give it a different feel. Double click, give it another color. Double click, and then give it another color that you feel is appealing. But while you're selecting the colors, it is very important that you need to stick to the organizational colors. You might love green, but your organizational color is blue. Like for us, blue is very appealing. So we rotate around these last two, the one for Rwanda and Nigeria. So those are the colors for Africa Capacity Network. But once again, stick to the organizational color or what the audience really likes. If you're presenting to children, if you're presenting to women, feel free to adjust accordingly. So I can also now sort this. I highlight, I go to data, and then I say sort. I want AZ or Z to A. If it is Z to A, sorry. Oh, okay. I can now say I want to sort this. I can go to home. Is it home? I can go to home. Then I sort Z to A, but then that is a little mixed up because I'm sorting in the country names. But maybe I want A to Z. Still, it is a little disorganized. So what do? I only want ascending order, largest to smallest, and I say you expand. If I want smallest to largest, that will be okay. And my chart will be good enough. If I want arrows, I can still do the same, but you try that on your own. For example, if you do this arrow here and give it blue color, and you want to change it to that, you can now see what will happen, and all you need to do is reduce the gap in between there, and your chart will be different. Okay. That said, let us move to the next chart. We will not look at maybe we'll look at it at a later stage, the pie chart and the donut chart. So now that we have looked at this, let us look at a sunburst. So a sunburst is another wonderful chart that you can do, sunburst and the tree map. So we have some of these here. You can see this is a sunburst. Then we have a tree map. So these are two maps, two charts that you can utilize. And these are more relational. So if you're looking at data that is dependent on another thing, for example, you have a year, we have a month, and then we have the cells. This can be very good because it will first categorize for you the years, and then the months within that year will be in that particular shape. So this is what we are going to do. Let us start afresh. Okay, so what you do, you highlight, go to insert, recommended charts. For me, I'm looking for a tree map. I'm looking for a sunburst. So once you do that, we are good to go. The rest of the things is formatting, give it a chart title. This is specifically sales, or sales distribution, kind of. We can make it to be that. So you have this, it has separated. You realize we have 2020, and then we have 2021, and the different months in each. So what can I do here? Do you need the labels? If you want the values to be there, then you can click on that. If you want series name to be there, you can add all that, and then you will be able to visualize your data. Like I said, keep it simple. Yes, so there we are. And that is a sunburst. You can now navigate through the rest of the formatting. If you want to format this, if you want to have a different feel, we have automatic here, but if you want solid, you see now it has given us all the same color, but maybe what I want is, I want this to be green. You just click on it, or sorry, double click on this section, or even the things that you really want to change. I want that darker blue, or I want green to have something different. But again, for each, I want a different color. I go ahead and visualize it in that way. You keep giving it different colors as you may wish to make it look more interesting and attractive. So that is a sunburst. A sunburst. Okay, using the same summary, we can now have a tree map. Go to recommended charts, all charts, then tree map. And then we are good to go. So what a tree map will do, it will give you sections of your data. For example, all blue is 2020, but again, it will separate it into two, 2020 and 2021, and then all the months that are in 2020 will be subdivided into the months. Likewise, the 2021, the different months will be separated, and for each, it will show you, each box here represents the amount of data. For example, in March, when you're comparing 2020, in March, that is when they had the greatest sales. Then in Feb, followed by Feb, followed by, maybe these ones are almost the same, Jan and Feb, but you realize that Jan is slightly smaller than Feb. When you go to 2022, that's how it has subdivided in March. In January, in March, they had this, it is now considering the weeks, the portions of the weeks. So what we can do is we may, let us just delete this just to make it a little clear. Let's delete that and redo. And redo just to make it more clear. So what happens when we go to insert recommended, we are interested in a tree map. Okay, So you can now see that our Sunburst has gone, but because I've changed the data, but we had already seen that. So let us concentrate on this. So we have Jan, where we have for 2020, which month for 2020, which month has the greatest sales? It is April. You can see in January 2021, you see it takes the bigger portion of the map or of the area that has been plotted. So if you want to do the rest of the things, you come here and show more. If you want the values, you can add the values. If you want the series name, you can add them there. But as I said, avoid crowding. I think that can be good enough. The rest of the things is formatting as you may wish. So you can say sales distribution, distribution per year, by month. Okay, maybe we just end there, give it a unique title, and then we will be good to go. So that said, that's how we do go about that. Okay, someone is saying the Sunburst is gotten lost. Yes, I just deleted it because, but let us just bring it back quickly. Go to the Sunburst here, and then you'll be good to go. You'll be good to go. Call it sales distribution. Sales distribution. Okay, so that's it. Here we are, and you can see what it is. If you want format, you can add the data labels here. If you don't want them, you remove, but we need them. Show data. Do we need the values? Yes. And there we shall be good to go. So this is our Sunburst. This is our tree map. Let us look at the area chart. The area chart looks like this. And what will happen is okay. So the area chart is this. What will happen is you do highlight your summaries and go to recommended charts, and then you will have an area map, an area chart. So when it comes, you navigate through, you can check, keep checking until when you get the best. These are 3D. Probably I would prefer this, or you would prefer this. Me, I would prefer this. I bring it here, then I do my formatting. One, I add the data labels. I can now, if I don't want this, I can remove. Then I have zones. I can say sex distribution per zone or by zones or by zone. Okay. So what else do I need? Do I need the grid lines? They are not there. Do I need to have something like this? Yes or no? If not, or I want something that is like this. If that is okay, then here we will have our tree map. If you want to do chart design, you can look at this and then see what really works for you, but make it more clear and very simple for anybody to understand it. So by looking at this, I'll know that these are male, then the blue are female. But if I want to separate, what I will do, I'll just click on this, then I'll do some formatting here for the chart area. I do not want any color. Maybe for this chart title, I want something black. bold. Okay. How about the legends? I want something like that. Also this is what I want. I can now give it is more clear. I can now increase the font size here and give it something that looks better. Likewise, for the female, I can give them a better color, or if you really want to fill them, maybe we can go with white. I bold them and increase their font, and then my chart will be good to go. So I put the axis and call this number of people. Then I give it a better color. Control A, highlight all, and then give it that. Then here I'll say these are zone, or this is zone. I'll just highlight it, go to home and give it a blacker color, bold it a bit. Likewise this, I'll bold it, and then we'll be good to go. So that is area chart, but using different data you can try out in your free time. Another chart that I really wanted us to look at is a line graph. A line graph. So with a line graph, we can have something unique like this, but what we will do, let us start afresh. Let us first visualize using this simple one, where we have a line graph, insert. Line graph is here. If you want something like that, we are good to go. Then you do the rest of the formatting. This is very simple, same procedure like we did for the column chart. Give the title, give the labels, give the, do you need the grid lines? Maybe no. Do you need the trend line? Maybe you need or you don't. For me, I don't want it. So you can now give the axis, titles. What are these? This is number of females. Number of people. Then this side, actually this is number of females, because it is number of females. Female. Number of female, then here, actually, and even say number of people. Then we can give the chart here, distribution of female, trend of female, okay. Trend of female. Then now we have this side down here, you can say months. Then this chart, we are good to go at this level, but then anyone can do this. We want to transform this a bit and make it a little unique, do some creativity and innovativeness. Click on the chart or double click. When you double click, you will see here, you may want to change the color format data point. If I want to give it red, I'll give it red. If I want a bold line or 2 lines, I'll check on that compound type. If I want 3, I'll go with that. Maybe I want 1. When I scroll down here, do I need dash type? Yes, which one exactly? I'm now creating all this. You can see that it is different. So maybe I prefer this, the stars, or this one. So at that point in time, begin with, do I need an arrow at the beginning? Begin with an arrow. Yes. You realize that an arrow has been created down here. If not, maybe I don't want an arrow. I can now leave it plain, or I need these points, or I can say all these are things that you can play around with to have something. And the arrow, you can see, if I select this, it will be bigger. So now I can have my graph showing that, and then my data points, my labels are here. I can increase the size and bold them. Maybe that's too much. I can give it 12 and bold. So if I don't want this, I can change, like double click, then come here on format data points and play around with the begin arrow. If I don't want the begin arrow, I'll remove that. If I don't want that, okay, that we didn't put, and the arrow, we don't want it for that particular one, but just to show that this is the beginning and this is the end. If I want just the point here, I can now change this also into what I really want. I just click on that point. If I want it round, if I want it square, if you can now see that it is round. If I want it square, then if I want it to be an arrow, you can now play around with all these and make your chart look nice. Okay. How about if our target is 80 and we need to have something to show that we are moving towards progress or towards achieving the target? The same can apply, but if you don't want these, I think I may remove them and remove that particular one. If you want the arrows, okay. We want to change this particular one back to the normal that we had. I think it is found here. Okay. Then this is, so we can go back there. And then all we need is to add an arrow to show that we are going to move towards the target. Okay, someone is asking, how have you gotten there? Let me just highlight again, just highlight, and then come to the line graph. Choose one that is exciting for you. If you really need that, you can go with that. I always prefer this. So we are going to format this. Okay, so I want this to be bold. Then at this point where we have not yet achieved, I want it broken. So what I'll do, I'll come here to the compound type. I select that, then dash type. I'll select it that way, but now I also need a different color to show that this is where we are going. Okay, I've given it all. We can go back to the same color, but I only need this particular line to have a different feel. And then I do the rest of the formatting. Add data labels. This is target. Remove grid lines. Do some formatting here. I can increase the font to 12 and make it bold. So if I want these data points to be different, I just go here. Which one do I need? I need square. Do I want a smooth line? Something like that. If you want, you've already seen those curves. You can see how it is. It is moving, and then we will be good to go. So you can do that. And that is, you add the rest of the components, the axis titles, and then you'll be good to go. Such a chart is going to be very unique and different. I'll leave this, try out on in your free time, but that is something that you can do. Okay, now we want to have a look at the combo. This is the kind of chart we will see. For the combo, let us see how it will be. Combo is very good if you want to present data, two variables on the same chart. For example, for those that are in the health sector, you may want to present maybe malaria cases and then the positivity rate. For this particular one, it is number of cases that are recorded. Cases could be legal cases per zone, and then the proportion of the cases that are resolved. So this one you just highlight, go to insert, go to recommended charts, then all charts, and then select a combo. Combo, when this is given to you, I prefer this. You can now navigate through and see which one works. So me, I prefer having a clustered column chart and a line graph. Down here, you can see that is the kind of combination that I really want to have. So what will happen, since there are two variables, there are two vertical axes that are generated, and one is showing down here, you can see the legends. The rest of the things is now formatting. If I want a chart title, I'll just say, this is cases recorded and proportion solved. Okay, so what else do I need? Access titles. I put my title here. I'll say this is number of cases. Number of cases. Then this other side, I'll say proportion or percentage of cases resolved. Good. At that point in time, we are good to go. The rest is formatting. If you want different colors, if you want grid lines, you can remove them. You can add data labels, and you can now format this. Click on this, right click, and say format data labels. Go down here below, or you want it above, you want it right. Maybe I prefer it to be center. So what have I selected? I think I selected for the chart. Okay. I prefer the one that is for the bar to be at the center of the bar, something like that, or at the base, if I want it to be there to make it more clear for my audience. Then I can now do the formatting. I can give it bold, can give it a unique color, and then likewise this can increase the font, and there we shall be good to go. I remove the grid lines. It's more clear. If I want different colors, you can do that on your own. Okay, another chart that we would love to look at are the maps. How does Excel help us to get maps? So for those that have advanced latest Excel 19 and 360, 19 and above, at least you will be able to have this add-in. So this is what we are going to create. So for this one, you highlight, then go to insert, we will go to insert recommended charts, then we will see our map somewhere here, and then you visualize it. So after this, click on this, then just double click on it. It will bring you format data series. What do I want to do? Which type of map do I want? We have automatic, we have these ones. Maybe map area is what is the key thing that we really need to know. Multiple countries, yes or no, but I only need areas, only regions with the data. Do I need the labels, best fit? And there we are, good to go. It gives you automatically some kind of scale, showing you that as you move to darker colors, the population is increasing. So what you will do, now you put the data, the formatting of your chart. Population distribution per country. So there we are. And we are good to go. With that, what else? I need data labels. I can add that there. And then Rwanda here is very small, but I can also format each country and give it a different color. Let's see how that appears. I can now select South Sudan, double click on it. Then I select Kenya. If I select Kenya and give it darker blue, then I go for Rwanda. And give it maybe green. Then our map will be good to go. Then the scale. If you want to work on it, ideally you will discover this on your own. Because of time, we may not go there. But that is how you can generate a map. Okay, these are different countries and one is distant. It doesn't look all that close. People want maps that are connected. Let us try to use this. Go to insert maps and then insert this. We said double click on this. Then under map area, select only regions with data. Do you want the best fit? Yes. And here we go. Increase it a bit. Same methodology, same approach. What will happen here? This one you will format on your own. Add the labels. Do you need the chart title? Maybe you don't need, but it's important. So we'll say per capita distribution, income per capita or per capita, income per capita, income per capita by country, income per capita by country. So then the rest of the things just format here. You can now come here. Maybe you give them green, double click, give them green, or go to format up here and then give it green. Go to Kenya, go to format, fill it with Kenya, which color they use, maybe red. Uganda, which color are we? Maybe this one I will use black. Not use yellow. for purposes of those that oh, sorry, I said I will not use yellow. Let us use black for Uganda for purposes of being neutral, because we are all black. Then you go to Rwanda, you go to South Sudan here, you give it a chart, you fill which color, select any of the colors, and then there will be good to go. The rest of the things, you can do formatting, and then you can present this chart to your manager, and they will feel very proud of you seeing something different. The rest of the things that you can do is you can go to the chart title, format, we need an outline. Those that remember geography, it must be enclosed, it should have a key. Then we need a compass. You can go to insert, and I don't know if we will find it here under shapes. If it's not seen, then you will go to Google and kindly pick a compass for yourself. Then I say compass under icons. Then I click on this and say insert, and then it is here. Then after that, I go to insert. I insert a text box up here and give it a name. I bold it. I increase the font size to 16. Then I will be good to go. Bring my end there. I do format shape. I don't need any outline, never, or even a fill. So by doing that, my map is ready for the report. You right click, copy, and paste in your report. So that's how we can do maps. Now, someone is asking, can we do that for a district? For the districts, as I mentioned, it is not yet cartographed, if that is the right language I should borrow. Those maps per districts or the different divisions in the different countries is not yet embedded in Excel. What can help us to do that is what we call ArcGIS, QGIS, or Geological Information System softwares. Those can do that, and Africa Capacity Network can train you in that. We'll be letting you know when those are on, and kindly feel free to apply and increase your competitiveness. Okay, that said, we can now move to what we call a radar. A radar is a chart that can, it's kind of comparative. You want to see if you have achieved the target or not. So we will have something like this. So what happens? Let us delete this and start afresh. For example, you have different field sites. You have Yumbe, Kampala, Jinja, Moroto. You have actual performance, and then we have the target. We want to see how the different field sites are doing in terms of achieving the target. So what you do, you highlight, go to insert, recommended charts, then we are going for a radar. And there we go. So you realize it gives you actual performance, and then the target for the one in orange, if this is orange, is the target, then the blue one is the actual performance per field site. So what you do, you do some formatting here, remove some grid lines to make it a little clear. You can now increase the size here. Then we can add data labels. They are a little crowded, but specifically, let me see, format data labels. Okay. Maybe Since it is crowded, I want to first bring those numbers to be more clear for me. So if I click on this, this is for the target. So what do I do? Let me to see if more options. And no more options, values, leader lines, value cells. We want this, which is to be at the center, to be format, labels, values, they are there. Okay, maybe we can just move them slightly above to show that these are targets. Can just drag this. Okay. For those that are not clear, drag it outside and okay, for Yumbe, oh, we are interested in this one here. Okay, let me do some changes here. The legend, probably I can put it aside, and then I select this. Then there's something hidden here. Okay, you see the ones that these ones inside are for the actual performance. These ones outside are for the target. But quickly, this is what we can do. You can see what to do for this. And this is a radar. If you want the grid lines to show there, you can now add them there and make your chart different. So when you visualize this, for example, during your review meetings, you can use this chart to show to the programs team or to the team how they are doing in relation to the different indicators. You can try out this for the different indicators. The same methodology will apply. Don't forget to put the chart title. This is performance towards target. Performance towards target. Okay, so if we make this to be 60, you realize that it will keep aligning. When they have achieved, it will be the same. It will be the same. And there we are, it will be the same chart. But because we wanted to see, that is why we have done that way. Okay. Yes, so question, the radar chart is very good when you're comparing performances, if the teams are achieving or not achieving. So this is more for comparative analysis. It's very good when doing comparative analysis. Okay, excuse me. Okay, now we want to rush into the waterfall. The waterfall is another wonderful chart that you can do. For example, those that are in business, you're visualizing profits and losses of a business over a given period of time. You can utilize the waterfall. So we have the months, a column for months, and then we have profit stroke loss. The IB is initial balance, others call it opening balance. Then the FB is closing or finishing balance. So what we do here, you highlight, go to this, then all charts and waterfall. Where is it? Waterfall is here. So if that is there, then you will be good to go. It has been visualized. So you realize that where there is a blue, there was an increase. Where there is orange, an orange color, it shows that there was a decrease in the profit, and then this is the total. So the beginning was 8,000, but you realize there was profits kept on decreasing and increasing. The rest of the things will be formatting. You remove the grid lines, but maybe you need them. You need the axis, title, this is profit or loss. Profit or loss. Then this title can be profit stroke loss chart. Okay. So then this, we are good to go. Down here, we have the period, which is in terms of months. Months. So there we are. And we are good to go. So the rest of the things you can format. If you want to change the color, you just click on this and then change the colors as you may wish. Okay, as simple as that. This can also inform you about if you're presenting sales, where at times we have peak, like in Christmas, people sell a lot. In January, it drops in Feb. For those that are dealing in books, maybe it goes up a bit. In Easter period, such oscillations, you can use this particular chart and you'll be good to go. Okay. The infographics, we looked at them. Finally, we are going to look at the dynamic charts. The dynamic charts here, we want to see how you can create, for example, a gauge chart for those that are going to do dashboards. You can see that if I change the value here, it keeps changing. If it changes here, it goes to 80. So what happens, you will need to, maybe you're going to visualize average, minimum, and maximum. This chart can help you so much. It's a simple chart that you can do. So we call it a speedometer, or this can be the gauge. So what we do, you are going to have, look at the number of, not number of, look at the different bars that you really need to show. Then you have to have a starting point, you have to have an initial, you have to have a middle and the end. All these should add up to 100, but then the maximum should go up to 200. So when you add all these, you will go to 100, and then the maximum should be 100. So you will need this, and then you will need the pointer. So let us get hands-on how we get there. Okay. So what will happen is we are going to create a chart, insert, donut chart, right click, select data, add, series chart could be the gauge, and then this one is going to be our values. Then we say okay and okay. Then we delete this. So our gauge chart is coming up. We do some formatting here. Format data series. Let us do the angles here. Let us rotate it to 270, just to have it something like that. Then down here, we are going to remove the color, remove the fill, give it no fill, double click. This one that is remaining, we need it to have no. If we want line colors, we can put outline colors. Do we need them? Yes. Do we need outline? Maybe we don't need. And there we go. So we can now reduce this to around 65, just to have it come out properly. So after that, we can now add another chart. But for this particular one, maybe the lowest is going to be in red. The middle one, we can have yellow if we are to borrow from the road lights or traffic lights. Then green, which means you're good to go. At this point, our chart is done. So what is remaining, we want now to create the pointer that you saw. So what we are going to do, we are going to go to chart design, select data, add another. Our series name is going to be the pointer, and then, okay. Cancel. First wait. Let us bring it here such that I can see. So you right click, select data, add. You click on the pointer as our series name. Then for the data, you are going to highlight all that. And then there we are good to go. So what you're going to do here, you are going to rotate it to be the same like the way you did, you formatted the data points for the previous chart. So we are just embedding two charts on the same chart. So at this point in time, we want to change the chart type. You click on this and then say, I want this donut, I want a pie chart. You want a pie chart and then say, okay. So that said, we want to rotate this pie chart at the same angle like our previous chart, 270. And then what you do, you double click on the down sector, and then we say we don't want any fill. Then you also click on this bigger one and say we need no fill. So we are remaining with this smaller one here, which we have selected. We want it to be black. Go to format. We want the outline to be black and the shape to be black. Then what is remaining is we want no fill, no outline here. I think there we are. So for this, let us give it a solid line, a solid color, black. Oh, this particular one alone, this one here, give it borderline, no line, okay. So there we are. And when you change this to 90, it will rotate. When you take it to 10, it will go. So what we are going to do at this point, add data labels. Specifically for this one alone, you add the data the data label. The data label. Add the data. Okay. Let us just add general data labels. Add the data labels, then we will delete this, also delete the 10, and then with this, you put an equal signs here and put it there. Then we are good to go. So as this changes to 90, you realize that it is changing. It is changing. As simple as that. So that's how we can do such dynamic charts, especially for the dashboards. They can be very, very helpful. Another chart that I would love us to have a look at, finally, I know our time is fast spent, is this particular one, which is also very dynamic. This could be showing grades. It says a chart that you can use and you do something different that people have not yet seen. Okay, so we want to get hands started. So let us insert, go to insert donut, right click, select data. Under this, we are going to add series name. We may not add, but here you're going to create ones 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Just to be sure that they are 20. Okay. Since they are 21, I'm going to remove this one here and I say okay. Then I also do delete this and also delete that. Then give this the same color. I'll give it blue. Okay. So that said, I can reduce this to maybe 50 kind of, or 65. 65. Then I go to this. I look for 3D just to change the way they look. I select that and then I'm good to go. Then after that, I'll say select data. I'm going to add another chart. Okay, first cancel to create more space. We are here. Maybe I can reduce it a bit. Format, no fill, something like that. Then I go to chart, select data. I add series, maybe is math, and then I select these two. So I say okay and okay. So what will happen? This I'll give it no fill, no fill. Oh, sorry. Let's go to design, change chart type. We ideally dealing with this. Okay. So what will happen? I'll now come to this and I'll say I need to format this. I'll give it the same blue color. Then okay. Format chart, change chart type. The donut, if we got 50 here, it is increasing. So what we are going to happen, what we are going to do, we want to change this into to give it maybe 15. Format, design, select, go to chart. Yes, we are interested in this. So this we are going to give it some other color, maybe solid color. We can give it white. Okay. White. Yes. Then this one, we are going to say no fill. But then our white here, our white, this first one, we are going to give it some transparency of 15 up to around there. So let us see what happens if this is 60. Okay. Yeah, we've done the reverse, but let us just change. This is going to be white to be white. We give it solid color white, and then we give it 15 there. Then this we are going to say no fill. And there we are good to go. So as you change this, you can see that it is changing. So the rest of the things you can do, insert text box, you put it here. You can now say equals and put this value and this. Then you do some formatting to increase the font. Maybe you bold it. And there, this one, we don't want that, and we don't need any fill. So you can ensure that it is in the middle. So what you do here, you say, can put it at that level. So whenever you change here, 30, you'll be good to go. 45, it will keep changing. So that has made that brings us to the end of our webinar today. Thank you so much, those that have endured. Thank you for your time. We are going to share this with you. If you have any questions, feel free to, the chat can continue, write to us. But all the same, we are grateful. Thank you so much for sparing your time. We believe that such skills can help you increase your competitiveness. Till when we meet again, we will let you know, we will be inboxing you about our upcoming training. Thank you so much for securing time. I know it has been quite long, but I hope it has been worth Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend.